talk a little bit today about dating and really staying in integrity and in alignment with your own needs and really just integrity with yourself. So I actually have been doing a lot more dating lately, more dating than I would say the best way to say it is I've just been putting a greater focus on it in my life. For the last couple years, for anyone who know my last couple years, I've been a co-founder of a few startups, and in between sort of starting my own business again and diving back in, and really over the last 10 years have owned my own business, several businesses, and so that's really been a big priority for me. And I think a lot of other women out there can relate to that, and men as well, that it's very easy for us to put our work first and our careers first. And so something that I have noticed in myself that I'm really doing in this phase of dating is that I'm really staying in alignment with my own integrity and kind of staying in alignment and listening to what my own needs are and my own wants. And I think it's just so often, it's so easy for us in relationship to kind of lose ourselves a little bit. Maybe I'm speaking for me personally, but that we want this other person to be happy. If we like them, especially if we find that we're liking someone, then it can be so easy to feel like you have to do it a certain way. You have to go out for drinks with them because they asked you, or even when I see women kind of like waiting for the man to make a move, and instead like tapping into what is it that you want, what are your needs. I had a great conversation with a friend of mine who was describing her practice in her own life, and it's a great example where she said that hopefully she doesn't mind me sharing this story, but I won't name her names until she gives me permission. But essentially that, I loved that she said she had a dinner date planned with a guy, and as it was coming up, she was feeling kind of like losing the energy around it a little bit, and she ended up just reaching out to him and said, what she identified in herself is that she really wasn't kind of looking forward to like the whole dinner and drinks and the whole thing, and if she really tapped into what she really wanted, she was like, I just would love to go for a walk. Can we just take a walk? And he was like, absolutely. And so they ended up doing that, and they're actually still together today. And so that's what I've been really doing in this kind of staying in alignment and staying in integrity with my own dating. It feels very vulnerable to be doing a video about this, but I've been having a really, really lovely time just getting to know people and kind of having this experience of dating, but staying true to myself, if that makes sense. So, and then honestly kind of like seeing what those reactions are. And, I'll share one story, which is that, for example, one night I had a very nice time with a gentleman that we went out for drinks, and it was really nice, and we kind of explored a little bit, but I was feeling really tired, and so, at one point he walks me to my car, and I said, I think he at that point had asked me, do you want to go for another drink or something like that, and I said, actually no, I'm feeling kind of tired, and I wasn't, at that point I'd sort of done enough research with him to not be super excited, or I might have, right? I might have genuinely wanted to go and extend the evening a little bit further, but in this particular case, I was like, no, I'm kind of feeling tired, and his response was, boring. And I was like, what a great example of me speaking my needs and me staying really in integrity with myself. I am hearing that my body is tired. I am communicating my needs, that I'm tired and I'd like to go home, and then seeing how this other person responds. And that's really fascinating. I mean, if any of you guys are dating online, or if you're really, sort of actively dating here and there, it's kind of a very interesting experiment and exercise in you listening and communicating your needs, and then seeing how people respond to that. I had, on the flip side, had another date with a gentleman who, when I expressed to him that I was ready to go, he just so sweetly was like, okay, well, I really hope I get to see you again, you know? And that's like, that's what I'm looking for, and you can define what you're looking for in your own relationships, but for me, I want somebody who honors me and who respects me and listens. And that doesn't mean that this person couldn't say, you know, oh, and speak really genuinely from where they are too, right? And say, you know, that bums me out, you know, I'm sad to hear that, because I'd really love to spend some more time with you this evening. And like, have it be honoring and respectful, and also really them speaking from a place of integrity within themselves. So all this is to say, I just am really, really loving coming at this new place of dating in my life from this place of integrity, and staying in integrity with myself, and kind of really listening and feeling where it feels right and where it doesn't. Or where even I may be trying to keep something going out of, you know, a fear versus actually what's true for me, and kind of staying and listening to that, and like, what is true for me right now? What am I needing more of? Another great example of this actually is, which again feels revealing to say, but at the same time, it's actually a very common practice that I haven't even read the book of this, but I love the premise of this, which is the love languages, if any of you guys have heard of those. And the love languages essentially are 5 different love languages that we each gravitate towards, or we each feel most loved in 1 or 2 ways. And I'll actually put a link on this post, but that essentially there are ways that we feel most loved. So yours might be that you like words of affection, or that you like to be touched, you like receiving gifts, you like having things done for you, acts of service, or the other one is just quality time. And there's one of those that's going to feel the most for you. So for me, I will reveal that that mine is touch, and that it's just so nice for me to feel that. And I know that about myself. And another one that I'll just share with the whole world is acts of service, or doing things for me. I'm like the girl that when you go, you know, get my car cleaned for me, I'm like, ah, it's so hot. I don't know what it is. It's just really nice. And I think we all enjoy words of affection, but you know, and I do, absolutely. I love that. And I think that I like that a little bit more than I think, but I need these other things, and I know that I need those. These are like these base needs that feel so good. So what's great about knowing that, and the more self-awareness you have about yourself, and the more self-awareness you have about what you need in a relationship, what are your core needs in any relationship, really. This is like your partners, collaborators, your coworkers, your family. And when you know what you need the most, then you're able to communicate that. And like, you know, we can't read each other's minds, and I would never even put that pressure on someone that I'm dating, that I expect them to read their minds. And not that it always comes out so clearly or perfectly from me, but the more I can really stop and tap in and go, gosh, you know what I was really needing right there. And it may not even have anything to do with them. In fact, I think a huge part of all this is taking personal responsibility, right? I recognize that right now, today, I really needed to feel more in tune with my body and feel more in tune with myself. I was feeling a little disconnected, and that's what I brought into this relationship. And so then that felt really like jangly and disconnected. And so I've been able to express that from a very like vulnerable place, and they don't have to, you know, do anything with that or anything. It's just me recognizing like, oh, okay. Because otherwise what ends up happening is you feel jangly, or you feel off, or you feel kind of out of body. And what can happen if you're not aware that that's really coming from you is that you then lay this expectation on this other person to put you back together or make you feel whole. And while I think relationship is wonderful and partnership is wonderful and can be very healing, I think it's really excellent to recognize what's going on with you first. And then you can even say, you know, I've been feeling kind of this way, you know, maybe we can go take a walk, or I need to go and take a walk or do some stretching to just really get back in my body. And this can be whatever it is for you in terms of really kind of coming back to yourself, but these are examples for me that I've had come up, and just recognizing, like, if I'm not feeling so good with somebody or a certain situation or an upcoming date that I have, how can I really come back to being in full integrity with myself and listening to what I want? So good luck to any of the rest of you out there who are dating and searching for love in whatever way, shape, or form that looks like for you. Thanks for listening.